Welcome everybody at SoccerBeat and it's Talking Pirates, and I've got the man, Moeneeb Josephs, with me, Toit. Now, first of all, guys, as you know, Mike has gone his own way. Cheese McQuena is at the stadium. He sent a lot of content for SoccerBeat at the stadium, but he couldn't get to the studio in time. So you're left with me, but Moeneeb will carry me up. Moeneeb, I'm an old man now, so you have to carry me here. You're going to have to do the running for me.
No stress, Mr. Toit. I'm sure you can see this big smile on my face here. You know,
that's it.
That's what it's about today. That is what it's about tonight.
So, you know what? After two bad defeats, this is the perfect comeback. But Moeneeb, I want to ask you. You know, you lose a semi-final, Pirates. That's big on the head. Then you lose to Sekhukhune, and basically the league's over. Then in the first 4 minutes, you go 1-0 down in a derby. Those are three big punches to take. Yet the team came back. The team came back.
Yeah, that for me, Mr. Toit. Mr. Toit, we've had a rotten week. For us as supporters, for us as players, we've had one of the worst weeks in our season. You know, and after that the first 4 minutes when we conceded, we never looked ourselves. We just never looked ourselves in that first 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden, when we conceded, we just picked up our character and then we showed our old selves again, where we started to say, hey, you know, like we needed that goal against the biggest nemesis. We needed that goal against us because all of a sudden, our boys showed so much character after such a hard week that we've had. The punishment we've been taking from all over, from social media, from everywhere. And to show that character and come back and win this game tonight. I'm so proud of these boys. And I'm proud of these boys for one reason. Not just for winning this game, but for coming back and finding ourselves again. It's been a difficult task. And somehow I found, in my head, I thought that game really damaged us. You know? And it did damage us. But only for 1 week. And as soon as we saw this yellow opponent in front of us, we thought to ourselves, there's no chance. This is going to be our bounce back. And I knew always that Kaizer Chiefs is, I said on Twitter as well, Kaizer Chiefs is like me. They are toothless, Mr. Toit. They are toothless, you know? They are toothless. They are like me. And as soon as we scored, the mentality they had as well, it was as they were scared to lose. They never came to beat us. They were just scared to lose. That goal was a lucky goal on the break. And after that, they were nowhere to be seen. And then our boys showed the character, showed who we really are. And I'm so proud of those boys. Sorry, Mr. Toit. I'm all over the place here, but I'm so proud and happy for my boys.
I'm happy for you. By the way, I just want to tell the viewers out there, I don't know why Moeneeb keeps calling me Mr. Toit, but anyway, he knows he should be calling me Tito, but we'll leave it. Moeneeb, just looking looking from, put on your goalkeeper cap on now, okay? Your Orlando Pirates goalkeeper cap. 100%. Okay, so serious question. The goal, that did come from sloppy defending though, huh?
Yes.
It has been as much as we're happy that Pirates are won, and obviously the incredible response to the defeats and to go 1-0 down. But to go 1-0 down so easily with sloppy defending. What do you as a keeper? What do you say to your defenders in that situation? How do you get their minds right in that situation, and how do you feel?
Yeah, no, like China knows as well that we don't criticize him for nothing, you know, and I'm not going to criticize him. I think it's just a point that me as a goalkeeper, if I have my goalkeeper hat on now, I see as well. Yeah. The ball was such a I'm speaking about the build-up to the goal where Salongs broke through and then he played in between. We were backed off, right? Fair enough, we were backed off, but we were still organized. Then he played the ball across. But for me as a goalkeeper, looking at Chahine, and I'm sure he will see it as well. Listen, all we're doing is we just speaking about talking points now. And for me, as I think he wasn't prepared for the shot because we were so organized in front. We were so well organized. But the thing is, Leleto unexpectedly took the shot very early. And you could see Chahine's reaction as well was late. And the reason why he's late, because he wasn't set. He wasn't expecting that shot. You know, he wasn't expecting it. And that's, I won't say it's just I'll call it a defensive error as a whole. It's very soft for us to concede a goal like that. You know, and if I look at it from a goalkeeping point of view, I think Chahine should have been set always. That is why in my coaching, when I do the coaching as well, I always tell my goalkeepers, Mr. Toit, that always be prepared for anything. No matter how the ball is moving across the ball, mentally we should be prepared. Be prepared for anything. Just what if. We have that what if mindset. Because what if he shoots? Even if he's not look like he's going to shoot. What if he shoots? As long as we know mentally we're prepared and we're ready for anything. And I think that is where we lack. The goal was very, very soft. Fair enough. Very, very soft. But, you know, we were also with defenders who were, we had Bokazi, we had Toki. We weren't really settled at that time. You could just see as the whole... Yes, for the whole 50 minutes, we weren't just settled as a team. Even coming from Cash and from Talente, where we were losing the ball a lot, we weren't settled. So they just caught us at a time when we weren't ready. And fortunately for them, they scored the goal, which unfortunately for them woke us up. It woke us up. It was that's just a bad thing for them. So yes, from a defensive was very soft goal.
Before we go back into this exact game, again, I watch all the Talking Pirate shows, obviously, and I love the show, and I love the analysis. Just one quick question, which applies to this game as well. And again, with your goalkeeping hat on, and you, Moeneeb, you're one of the most natural goalkeepers. You and guys like Bruce Kobbler are the most natural goalkeepers I've seen, and good talkers, and you're not afraid to ever go at your defenders. One thing throughout the season, though, defending crosses. In this game as well, even on the one time, there was a good movement just before halftime on the left-hand side. Mart got the ball wide and was still able to get a cross in. Cheney made a super save. Why all season? It started with the Magesi game in the Cup when Pirates lost. Why? And as a goalkeeper, what could have been done? What should have been done? I'm not saying it's a Cheney situation. What is it? What as a goalkeeper to your defenders and to your coach, because you're in charge of that area, or you and the goalkeeper coach, why has it been a persistent problem? Because it cost it the semi-final. Yeah,
100%. It's been and it's not just coming along from now. I think during our time when we were playing as well, we had it's always been a problem at Orlando Pirates where we had problem with set pieces. It's been a generational thing as well, and we've been struggling to deal with it, even when you have a goalkeeper like Shahine who comes for crosses, who comes and parries, who comes and gets those things when we need him to be there, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Farouk, you want to join us? Okay, come join us, Farouk.
Assalamu alaikum, Coach. Coach, yes, come and join us. Coach.
Maaf. You know what happened here, Moeneeb? You know what happened here?
Everybody's here.
Wants to be two things. He wants to be two things. He wants to be with the winning team, so he's joined us. and then
Coach.
Sorry for intruding us.
No, but you're welcome.
No, you're not. We were speaking here so much about what Orlando Pirates were doing defensively, and then we could say nothing about the opponents. So now that you're here, Coach, we can speak about the opponents who were non-existent today, Coach. Non-existent today, Coach.
Yeah, well, there's so much to talk about.
So listen, Coach, I thought you'd take refuge. I thought you'd be taking refuge. You would come into the Lions' den here.
Well, I have, but I had to show a brave face. Peter. You have to lose with some dignity.
Now, how, Mr. Toit? How can we hammer such a professional? This is what professionalism is all about. We take a win, and we show that character, And in the football world, you don't have such many lawyers, such people anymore. Where when we win, we shake hands. When we lose, we show that character again. This is the real generation of football people are about.
So listen, I think what happened here, Moeneeb, that he's sitting there waiting for Talking Chiefs, and he's going 6 games. 6 games, he's going to talk about no wins, and he said to himself, "I've got to join my brother, my fellow and
Coach,
and come on the show and find some. It's okay, Farouk. You can come and join. Cheese is still at
Coach,
the stadium, so he couldn't join.
Coach, tell me, you could see today. Kaizer Chiefs, there was no tactical plan. They just looked like they were scared to lose. Right, Coach? Scared to lose.
I think when they came with a plan, they pressed Orlando Pirates very high, knowing Orlando Pirates is a ball-playing team they want to play out. And I think Marco made a very critical error when he gave the ball away. And they capitalized very early in the game. But as a player, and I think Peter will tell you, when you score that early in the game, it's not always good. And I say this with due respect, unless you then ensure that you get that cushion goal. Now, you scored the goal, but you aren't able to control the game matches. And this is where I think we fell apart. But we must compliment Pirates for the substitute. I'm sure you guys discussed. It was brilliant. It was. And it was brilliant. And this is what's so important. When your team is in a situation like they found him, they realize at halftime we need to have a change that will impact the game. You can't be making substitutes for the sake of making substitutes. And for like doesn't work. You got to say, if I'm going to bring Marco out and I'm going to put Otto into that position, he's going to give me a lot more running on the side. But now I bring in a Kabelo Dlamini who can control the tempo, who can regulate matters to ensure that Pirates are now able to control the tempo of the game. And that's what they did in the second half. Complete dominance. Chiefs were 100%.
Yeah. Chiefs were like they were hoping, playing on hope. Everything was playing on hope. After they scored the goal, they went into that mindset where This is what I saw. They refuse to lose. They refuse to. They're too scared to lose. So what they do is they sit back and let's try and catch him on the break. But to catch him on the break is difficult when you're stuck in your own box all the time. So
Absolutely.
this.
But again, the tactic of counter-attacking, which is you sit back and you wait, can
Yeah.
only work if the players are confident when they win possession. You could see
Yeah.
after last week's result, that nightmare started playing back in their minds to say, we went ahead last week, the opposition equalized, and then they came and won it. So now when that's
Yeah.
in the back of your mind, you
That
start
fear.
becoming a bit more reserved. I mean, Lilepo was passing the ball back to Chinese. They not
Yeah.
even an attempt to go.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break, but before we take the break, Chiefs fans out there and Pirates fans out there, don't forget to subscribe. There's a 50,000 Rand prize waiting for you guys. So please subscribe. Going to take a short break. Then I'm going to discuss a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to tell you what happened to Tito. Why Tito didn't start today. Why Tito wasn't even on the bench. And I want to talk to both of you about Tito. And then also about Tele. Why was he on the bench? We'll talk about that. And then I expect to see Moeneeb. You've got to push Farouk here, the Kaizer Chiefs coach, the ex-Chiefs coach. You've got to
No,
push
no,
him
no,
back.
no, no, no. If we were in a corner, I cannot do that when I have such a respectable man. No chance it will not happen. No chance.
We have a long history, Peter. We have a long history.
How would you like to win a little something extra just for joining the best in the game? For a limited time, we are teaming up with Betway and giving all of you access to a SoccerBeat exclusive. If you join Betway using the sign-up code SoccerBeat now, you'll get 25 Rand Extra Bet. That's right. It's time to get way more out of every bet. Standard T's and C's apply.
Welcome back. Right, guys. First of all, Tito, not on the field, not on the bench, and I can tell you the reason. And you know him well as a player, Farouk. He was not in the squad, according to people close to the squad who've told me just right now that disciplinary issues. Now we know you guys felt that he was sulking, and maybe that's part of it. I want to ask you, Moeneeb, you've played with star players. You know Tito is a star man. We respect him greatly as a player. He's got a lot to contribute to South African football. I want to ask you how what you think about the situation. And coach, you know him as a person. You brought him along as a player, and he's a key figure for South African, the national team, and for Pirates. There's a cup final coming up. Moeneeb, yes, they didn't win, they won.
Yeah, that's I can only speak from what I can see, and I watch the game from the side. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, what's happening there, right? But all I can speak from is what he's missing out on. I cannot speak to things like if it's disciplinary issues, that because I don't know about that, right, Mr. Toit? I don't know about that. But what I can say is whoever's been put into his position has made it much more difficult for him to come back now. Has made it much more difficult for him to come back now. So it's much more harder for him now. For those who got that position, who got the opportunity to play in that position, they took it because it was a 2-1 win against Kaizer Chiefs. And that is all that we as Orlando Pirates can look at. We can't look at anything else further. Whoever's not involved, that is for the club to deal with. And it's going to be Tito, who's such an amazing player, who has so much ability. Coach Farouk could speak more to the player and to the person. But I can only speak to the player, what he brings to Orlando Pirates. And now that he's not there, he's missing out on an opportunity now. And this won't just last for now. It will eat on Tito's reputation for a while now. That is just the nature of the game. And those who've come in now, I can only speak to that, and they've done the business. They've come in and beat the Kaizer Chiefs when we need them, when the chips were all down for us. We had a horrible, horrible week. These boys have come in and lifted out of their hands, and that is what it's all about. That next generation of players, they're willing to take the opportunity. They've come in and done that. So, I don't know. For Tito, I cannot speak to that. Mr. Coach Farouk will probably have much more info than I have in the sense of knowing him personally. But for Orlando Pirates, it's a loss, but it's not the end of the world because we've just brought in someone now who's taken up that position as well.
Coach, you brought the player onto the scene. Is he a very emotional guy?
Yes, I think his background speaks to the fact that he comes from a very, how can I say, he doesn't come from a very well-off background, to say the least. He's got a history where he came from Tembisa at a young age, spent about 5 or 6 years. I sent him to Portugal, was there for a while. Phenomenal talent, but again, talent on its own, without being able to handle such situation. Whatever it is, like Moeneeb says, we don't know exactly what's happening behind the scenes. But whatever it is, the team comes first. The name on the back means nothing. What matters is what's on the front of the shirt that matters. And you've got to be disciplined enough to put the team first. Even if the coach hasn't selected you for whatever reason, even if you are not, put on a platter, you need to deal with that. And you need to make sure that at the end of the day, the coach takes note. I'll give you a simple example. I sent Matlango to Sweden. He did well. But the coach didn't. It was a coaching change. And he phones me and he says, Coach, the new coach is racist. He doesn't want to play me. He doesn't want to do this. He's just complaining. And he is expecting me to sympathize with him. Instead, what I said was, do me a favor. When you see the coach tomorrow morning, you be the first guy to go to the coach and greet the coach with your hand and say, Coach, how are you? I hope you have a good day. I hope all the best. So now I'm reversing the situation, Peter. Moeneeb. I'm saying to him, you be the least. You go with your humility and show the coach that, you know what, I'm not holding anything against. Guess what happened that season, Peter? You know what happened that season. He was nominated the best player in Sweden. Now, this is important. But what happens at times is when players get to the big time, like Tito and them, they don't have the same contact with us. We have experience. We have been in this game for years where we can say, listen, young man, what you're getting now, take it in your stride. Don't get carried away. This is a big club. This is not your, all due respect, this is a big institution. When you play there, when you put on that shirt, you've got to respect the brand. You've got to respect the people, the fans, the management. And I think to some extent, you know, all of this accolades, and I get so angry, even at the academy level, when we see a youngster, and we've got some phenomenal youngsters. Moeneeb will tell you that you've seen when he was at Emerentia. I keep them grounded. You know why I keep them grounded? Because I'm scared that this hype is going to make their head spin. And I'm not saying that's the case with Tito. I hope he watches this, and I hope he contacts me so that I can say to him, I always reminded you, respect is the cornerstone of success. You lose that. The coach is never wrong. Never wrong, because he puts the team at the end. So whatever happened, he's got to go in and go and with his tail between his legs and say, let's settle this, because his career is on the line now. Because besides the talent, Peter, nobody will touch you with a 10-foot pole once they realize there's disciplinary problems.
100%. And look what he's missed out on. He's missed out on playing. All players want to play in front of 85,000 people, 90,000 people with your fans going crazy. He's missed out upon that, and he could miss the Nedbank final as well, which would be a tragedy. So, listen to Moeneeb, listen to Farouk, get back there. Then another question. Let's the equalizing goal, Moeneeb. I mean, Shaba got the ball. He had a clear opportunity to play the ball left, but he lost the ball. And what I loved is how quickly the ball was played wide to Nkota. He didn't waste any time. He saw evidence. He saw the gap. He saw evidence. The two centre backs from Chiefs were sleeping. He put a beautiful ball in. Evidence in his stride, bang, goal. I really think Nkota, you know, he's a perfect example. Saleng was the main man on the right. The youngster came in and he's made that position. Even if Saleng was training and playing, I don't think he could replace this guy. The guy's pace, he scores goals, he makes goals. I mean, what do you think?
That was quality. Listen, and like you say, the Shabalala, he had two people that was waiting for him that he could just play a decent pass, and that is the difference, and that's the key in such big games, is that you must get that pass or let the pass go out. You must make the right decision at the right time. And unfortunately, his execution was bad. We intercepted the ball out to wide, and the vision of Nkota, and onto his weak foot as well, to play the ball in between as well. And listen, Evidence Magopa, you know, he's been getting a lot of stick from us here in the Talking Pirates, but today he gets his flowers, because to finish a ball like that on the run, you know, for someone who's been so much under pressure, who we've been saying runs into channels where he shouldn't be, this was the run that he's made. He made the run, Nkota picked him up, perfect finish right into the corner, you know, right in between Bavuma's legs, and 2-1. And that's it, job done, you know. But then again, I have to also say, listen, this is a Talking Pirate show. And for me, one of our best players was Shabalala. I think he should have gotten man of the match for Orlando Pirates. You know, this is a big game. This is a big game. This is where players need to be counted.
The game.
Coach, and you were also saying, Coach, Mr. Toit, Coach was very, very. He was shy to say. He's very shy to say that. Like when he was speaking about Tito as well. You know, things. Tito, what he should do now, what is in his control, he should control, and that is go to the field. Go to the training and do what you should do. Man up and do what you know. What you're known for is playing football. You know. But Coach was saying as well that, you know, in occasions like this, you play for a big team, and it's wait, I lost track for it because I was trying to wind one up there for Coach, but Coach Jesus, man, you went past it. But all right, I leave it now. But Tito has all the ability. He should just go, be humble, and go do what he do. He's known for his football. He's not known for his antics. You know, show that respect. Be humble. Sometimes our ego gets the better of us. And ego can be one of our worst enemies. What a quality player. So go and be humble. Go and do your thing that you're missing out in playing in such a big occasion. And today, he could have been a star. Because there were so much holes where he could have been dazzling in, and we needed someone who could put his foot on the ball, and he could have been that guy. But he's missed out on that opportunity because of who knows what. You know?
On another day, this could have been a 5 or a 6. I'll tell you. You look at, you speak about Mahopa's goal, brilliant. But Mahopa had a second bite of the cherry in the first half, where all he had to do was look up, and he had to just play that razor blade pass across and 2-1 up. So he made a mistake. You look at Nkota, and Peter speaks about good player, but he needs to get stronger on the ball. There was 2 occasions. You had Rele in acres of space, but he went for glory. Okay, young, inexperienced. Guidance has to be there to say, listen, if Rele scores, we score. Doesn't matter who scores. Who puts the ball in the net doesn't matter. You look up, you roll it across, and that's why the coach was fuming, Peter, because he realized that would have been the cover. You know, the thing is, Chiefs get a counter attack, they get a set piece 2-all, not a true reflection of the game, because that is dominated the second half. There was no Chiefs in the second half, and we mustn't forget that I would say, I wouldn't want to use a terrible word, but I don't know what word to use for cross. You're sitting on a yellow card, Peter. Moeneeb, what business have you got? Get sent off with hardly any time on the clock. Now, the Chiefs team technically have to reorganize coming into the next fixture, because we don't know, is Derby going to go to the left? So these are things with hindsight, it's easy to talk about. But again, it comes back to player discipline. It comes back to good preparation, because every player must know his role. You look at it when it started, Pirates were caught flat-footed. Again, they brought in a player who hadn't played much in Mako. He didn't play much. Shandu also didn't. So this is where Chiefs, in the first half, should have capitalized, I believe. Because they had a defense that was porous on the wings. And we know how deadly they can be. So they then decided to put Lelepo as a 9. Well done, he scores. But after that, Lelepo is missing. Whereas if you had probably an out-and-out striker, we spoke about Morris coming in. Morris could have been giving the 2 centre-backs more problems. Lelepo on the left. But obviously one of the other boys on the right. Now you've got Pirates where they can be hurt most. We spoke about the fact in the week, Peter, where they pushed their fullbacks up high. No difference today. They did it again. But when you lose that opportunity in the first half, believe me, when Pirates go into the change room, it's a different team that comes up. You know, I've got a little kid. He knows the kid, Munir. He knows Munir. Munir ran into the score was 1-0. He looked at me and says, Coach, don't be happy for nothing. Pirates is going to win 3-1. Put your money where your mouth is. He made a bet for me with $30. Obviously, he didn't win because they won 2-1. But this young kid, is very talented. Munir will tell you. He came to me and said, Pirates is the better team. Look how they're moving the ball. Can you imagine? So, obviously, this was a case of mistakes will happen, guys. But it's how you are able to capitalize.
Last question. What I think is wonderful for Pirates fans out there, and talking Pirates guys, is look at the Pirates bench. How many unknown, in inverted commas, unknown youngsters on that bench?
Yes, absolutely.
Come on, today, in a top game.
I didn't want to say that, Peter, because there's now injury. There's now insult to injury. You know why? I'm sorry. You know why? We always talk about youth, development, promotion. Pirates showed us today, in the Derby, they brought on 3 youngsters. You know, for me,
18-year-olds, yes.
I'm shaking in my boots saying, if this is the quality they're bringing in, even if the coach leaves, if there's somebody else coming in, the continuity. You know, when you get quality youngsters coming through, then you start worrying. I mean, Nkota was one that they brought through. Rele was another one that they brought through. Now you got these 3, and they didn't look shabby. I mean, coming in a heated game, the score is 2-1. You've got to have big shoulders to come in at that time, and they showed the mentality.
Listen, Moeneeb, I think this was Coach Farouk doing an interview for the
Mr. Toit. Mr. Toit, I'm sorry. You know how glad I am Coach Farouk is not coaching Chiefs, because they've been a better team today.
That's true. All right, guys. Thanks very much. See you for the cup final. Cheers. See you for the cup final. Congrats, Moeneebs. Farouk, I'll see you in Talking Chiefs a little later. I mean, if you want to, you can join us.
It was a nice one.
Speak to you later. Cheers, guys. Cheers.